guys, Amber here with Frankie Yarrow. Thank you so much for joining me today. How's tour been so far?
It's good. It's been really good. We're almost at the end of the East Coast run. Our first full band headline for this record.
So I don't know if they told you what this interview is about, but I am a music interpreter and I also do interviews about the deaf fan base and
that's
inclusion. So
Okay.
what has your experience been with a deaf fan base with any of your projects in the past?
Well, I remember the first time we had a signer, is it right?
Interpreter.
An interpreter. I'm sorry, an interpreter at the show was in DC, and we were playing with Thursday at the 9:30 Club, and I remember we had there was a young lady on the side of the stage the whole show, and she interpreted the whole set. I said, that's so awesome. And I wish I knew how to do it.
Yeah, because I grew up with a bunch of your projects. I grew up with my cat and all that stuff, so I couldn't.
It's so hot. I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was that hot. Sorry. Go ahead.
So having grown up with as much music as I did, that kind of influenced me to want to be an interpreter.
That's
So
awesome.
it's good to see that the bands that created that music also want to be as inclusive as I want to be.
Absolutely.
Yes. So with the number of music projects you've had, have there been any ways you've tried to incorporate that fan base in the past or that you would in the future?
I think that trying to work in a visual sense too. When creating music, I like to have visual accompaniments. I think Death Spells especially. We had the projection for every show, and I think that kind of went along with the music in a really nice way. I think it gave different dimension to what we were playing. But as far as having an interpreter at different shows, I guess it's something I would like to do more of. And I just suddenly realized that maybe I should need to go farther and do that more often.
Yeah, because it makes knowing that interpreters are included in part of tours
Right.
makes it a little bit more comforting than not that interpreters don't know what they're doing aside from that, but having the same set or same people every night
Right.
is kind of more comforting in a sense, knowing that they know the set and the banter
Right.
and all that.
All right, yeah, gotcha.
And starting to know the fan base a little bit too.
All right, okay.
Another thing is captioning, not auto captioning, but actually captioning online is another part of being inclusive. And normally I check before I come, but I didn't check your videos. Are there any ways that you've gone about doing that in the past?
I feel very ignorant right now, and I don't think that I have. So I guess I'm gonna have to look into that as well.
Yeah. It's not ignorant. A lot of people don't know, which is why
Yeah.
I think it's much.
There you go. Yeah. So lyrically,
Lyrically, and if there's basically any noise on screen, if there's an acting part, I guess,
Okay.
you caption that, and then also you would have to caption the music, but accurately, not depending on YouTube, because YouTube kind of just picks up what it wants to hear. It's not very good at picking up music.
Okay, so they do their own captioning.
Yeah, for my videos, I physically do it, but there's also companies like Rev who do captioning for you for $1 a minute.
Okay.
So there's a few other ways to do it.
And then just never look to I guess enable that on you. So is there an icon or something you click on to have that come up?
Yeah, so like I said, I do it myself, which takes a little bit more time, but I don't mind doing it. But then there's also a company that you can reach out to that'll do it for you.
Yeah.
So sign language is a visual language. When creating your own music or anything, when you think of your music, is there anything you see visually?
Yeah. Well, I see color. So when and usually it for me it's like a full record or full piece. So I know that for me, I say the 3 records that I've done. The first record being Stonecakes, that was very pink and gray, and then the second record was all blues. This record is very yellow, and so and that I don't know why I see it that way. I think it reminds me of certain it kind of takes me back to experiences that I've had. And that's where that comes from. But I know other people experience that stuff too. It's just, this is how it works for me. And then when I know that a record is a certain color, I try to incorporate that into the artwork of the record. Because of course, that's how much.
Yeah. I like it reminded me of when you were younger, because when I was younger, I would like see things as color.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
What and why do you think?
I don't know. Like, especially when not even when I was like super young, but like when I graduated high school, I started to see colors. But I also wasn't in elementary school.
Okay. Yeah.
I switched careers in my past.
Cool.
Yeah. So I would see colors and I didn't know why, and then I would like look up color psychology, and it would kind of match up.
Oh, interesting. It's like a movement.
Yeah. In my brain.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So this is what I really want you to think about.
Okay.
Hypothetically, if one day you woke up and you were deaf or hard of hearing, what would you do? What would your reaction be?
I mean, that's a hard question to answer because I use that sense all the time, you know, and that's how I express myself. So, you know, I wonder if I would still be able to create in that, or if I would have to try to find it differently.
Because there is actually an artist that I'm not sure if you know, her name is Mandy Martin. She went part of very later in life, and she still sings and performs and incorporates it.
It's incredible.
And she was on one of those shows. Yeah.
That's the thing that I feel like no matter what, I would always have to do it. You know, it seems like
Like, I almost been a very creative person looking back at every career I've tried to have or have had it for some period of time, so I've been creative.
Right, yeah.
Has been great.
Yeah, like, you know, some people are just wired that way. Yeah. Exactly, yeah. Just involve and change.
So, I would have one more for you.
Okay.
As a musician, how would you like to see it change or just becoming more inclusive?
Well, you know, I think through your education, you know, learning more about how to take action for things and having people do things over that show is, you know, it's funny, you know, and sometimes when you're not asked about it or it's not at the forefront of conversation, it gets overlooked, you know. And I remember certain shows where that happened, but I think the reason that happened too is because a person that was deaf was attending the show and requested it, and
Right.
so that was we provided it. But now thinking back like that, maybe if I had taken a more active role, brought more people to want to come to the show, or you know, were able to. So it's I guess it's about education and talking about it.
Yeah, it's definitely part of what I'm trying to do because I've gone to church too, where I've been interpreters, but I kind of start thinking what if there's one on the goal towards it and how to worry about
I mean, I don't know off the top of my head anyone that does that tours as an interpreter tour. You know, maybe for larger artists too. Like that's
larger artists too, but I'm kind of like do smaller artists.
Right,
Those are important
exactly.
too, because I know I grew up with smaller artists. Well, with other people's not smaller artists, my favorite. People play with the small artists, my favorite, but to other people they are.
right. I hear you. Yeah, there's like the giant and then middle and then you know, like people that are like touring in advance like that. Some of that's an expense that's like another salary
Oh.
for feeding people. So that's hard. Yeah, I don't know how you remedy that. You know, I think that maybe it's a good idea to have someone that knows the set, but I think it might be easier almost like to have something venue based, you know, so that they live in the city with venues and shows do it on that basis. And that should be that may be awesome, I'm sure. It's a good question. So that is the answer.
Definitely. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna put the links to everything in the description. I'll catch you at the next one.